I love the hills. I love the mountains. I've learned you don't need all the right equipment. Just shoes and the right spirit. I love the challenge of climbing that steep incline, for the feeling you get at the top. When you go running, you get out of your bed, you leave your room, you leave your house, your family, you leave your food. You leave all those things behind, and you just run. On first arriving at Vista University, it was like entering into a completely new world. I'd been to other places in Europe before, other countries like Italy, Spain, England, Switzerland, and each of those had their own culture. But somehow here in Mexico, things were different. I remember on my first night when I went to the dining room and sat down to eat dinner. I looked at my plate and thought, wow, what is it? I put the beans on this dry tortilla, some lettuce, soya, I drizzled some lemon, and then my salsa. And looking at the guy next to me, I figured out how to hold this thing, and eventually wrapped my lips around the taco, hoping nobody would see too much as it broke into pieces into my hand. Then this flock of young guys came over to my table to introduce themselves. They were giggling and smiling. One guy wanted to practice his English with me, so he said, "What's your name?" And I said, "Brad." They looked a little confused, so I added, "It's like Brad Pitt." From that day forward, I instantly became famous around the campus. I became Brad Pitt. Hola, Brad Pitt. In the dining room is also where I met Sarah and Deborah. They're volunteers from Germany. Together, we'd be teaching English to several hundred secondary, high school, and theology students. For those who already know a lot of English, I've been teaching English literature. For other students, we've been using language textbooks. I always like to integrate creative activities so they can learn with positive emotions, which helps them to remember more. I even love to include singing, praying, and watching mission videos in English to help them learn more about their faith. The students at Vista University really love singing. There's always some special music with soloists or choir, band, or instrumentals. I remember on my second day here, there was a group of colporteurs in the church. My new friend was going to play the violin for them, but he needed an accompaniment on the piano. So I said, "I think I can help you." So we played. After we played the item, they wanted to sing some extra songs. And they said, "Please, Brad, come and play for us these songs." I said to them, I don't know if I really know this song. I hadn't practiced before. I didn't think I'd even played it before on the piano. But they wanted me to play it so much. So I said, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." I went and played, and it all just worked. I remember one or two of the guys just looking at me, smiling. They must have been thinking, wow, it's so good to have this missionary who can play the piano for us. Probably one of the greatest things about my experience here is the friends that I've made. They're like family. So as a missionary, sometimes I come here, to the prayer garden, where I come to pray for them. I open my phone where I have my list and just talk to God about them and the things that are happening in their lives. Sometimes a friend will sit beside me and just start to tell me everything that's happening. Sometimes I just listen, sometimes we pray together, or I share my personal experience. Nothing gives much more satisfaction than being able to help a friend. In the Bible it says you should live your life like you're running a race in Corinthians. So sometimes you do crazy things, like leave your bed, your home, your food, your family to get up and go running at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not easy, but you do it for the prize at the end. The prize is not comparable to anything else you'll experience in this life. So you just run.